Hello there. So this is definitely me in the process of prepping. More about that another time. So kimchi. I discovered I was making an appalling mistake in all my kimchi making that I've been doing up until now. And it's because I watched something on Netflix called Immortal Classic, where I learned so much about kimchi that I was inspired to go and do a load of research online as well. But the point that I want to make is this: to make kimchi properly, what you need to do is to add these to the picture, your hands. So bearing in mind that the kimchi is all about creating this fantastic brew of microbes, and that's the source, that is the starting point for my brew. That's got so many good things in which you know from previously: the pineapple and pomegranate juice, the garlic, the ginger, the turmeric, the salt, the honey, the garlic, the chili, the garlic, and more garlic, and an onion and some garlic. So I got all that ready to go. I'm making a quadruple batch here, so that's my sauce. But what I learned watching Immortal Classic is what I've been doing in the past. I'm ashamed to even show you, but I will. What I was doing in the past, I was using chopsticks and I was mixing the ingredients with chopsticks, which is a ridiculous thing to have done. Because what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to get my hands in there. So, okay, if I'm going to get my hands in, I need to think about what I don't want to be doing. I don't want to be coming out of the toilet doing that. It's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? Neither do I want to be sterilising my hands with some hand sanitizing product. What I want to do is I want to get some of the microbes from my microbiome into what I'm making. And I thought, well, okay, so I don't want to wash my hands in tap water containing God knows what. So what I'm actually going to do, and I'm going to do it right now to show you, here are some rose hips I picked recently, just a few days ago. They're in the process of drying. So rose hips come from nature, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my hands a little bit of nature, little nature experience here. And that's my way of preparing, so that is what I'm going to be adding, a little bit of nature to my hands. Right, so having done that, I'm ready to go. So what I need to do now, I've already been cutting my cabbage and I've been grating my carrot and my radish, and because the carrots are ones with soil on from the organic stall, that means I was washing the soil off the carrots with my hands, which is also a great preparation from what I'm about to do. So now it really is a matter of getting the hands in there and giving it a really good mix. And what I didn't know until just a few days ago is this is such an important step. And in fact, somebody was criticised severely on the programme because she was wanting to protect her hands and she was wearing plastic gloves. And the woman who was the master of the whole process had a right go at her and said, when you use plastic gloves to make kimchi, you're making a dead kimchi. And what she's saying is that your microbiome, the microbes on you, are such an important ingredient. And let's think about it. This relates to something that I studied a long time ago thanks to Vladimir Migry, whereby what you do is you put seeds in your mouth and allow the saliva to coat the seeds for a few minutes, then you plant them in the soil. So that's tuning the seeds into your own DNA. So this is what's going on now, but I'm actually doing it on a microbiological level. So this really is practical microbiology. So I'm actually tuning in the cut ingredients to the microbes on my hand. So that's like half a bowl. So I will now cut another Chinese cabbage and grate another batch of radishes and carrots, and I can have my sauce, put the lid on and go as I have done so far. And I will say to you this: if you see people making kimchi in Korea, they don't do it like this. For a start, their Chinese cabbages are probably about 3 times the size of that. So they have a completely different technique because of what they're able to get hold of. and they don't slice everything fine the way I do, and they've got their own really good reasons for the way they do it. But I'm adapting my method to what is more practicable and in terms of what I can actually get hold of. There's something special I've added to the sauce. Actually, I got a little bit of the rosehip tea which I made and poured that in there, so it's going to be a magnificent kimchi extravaganza. And this is also something the Koreans do once a year. Usually in the autumn they make a batch of kimchi to see them through the winter, and actually this is why I'm prepping with the kimchi, because we don't know what's going to be happening in the next few months, do we? No, we don't. So it seems wise to get ourselves well prepared. And I don't know how available fresh vegetables are going to be in the future, but the point is the Koreans used to have every winter with no veg. So smart people as they were, at the end of the harvest season they get all the veg and turn them into kimchi, which means that they would keep throughout the winter. They'd be able to have the vegetables throughout the winter, but far more important, they continue to nourish their microbiome. And as we all know by now, the number of microbes in our body is mathematical. It tends towards infinity in terms of numbers. They're part of us. We need to look after them, give them treats. So my microbes are going to have a winter of the most wonderful treats. So excuse me, I can't stand here flapping my jaw a moment longer. I better get on. Thank you.